Now, Dr. Ajoke Adewale is a public health physician. She joins us via Zoom here in Lagos. Thank you for joining us on the program.
Thank you for having me. It's a pleasure to be here.
All right, great to have you. Are you looking forward to receiving the vaccine as Lagos State begins rollout today?
Yes, I'm definitely looking forward to it. It's a welcome development. And as a public health physician, I'm in the forefront. I'm one of those in the forefront of the fight against COVID-19. So this is a very, very welcome development. Yes.
For a lot of states, the state governments are taking the vaccines first. What they say is to give residents in their states a sort of confidence that the vaccines are safe. But to you, do you think that is the right step? For a few other states, they're prioritizing frontline workers, and then you have other states where, the politicians are taking the doses first. Do you think that gives people confidence and takes away the vaccine apathy or hesitancy?
Yes, I think that it's a very good strategy in the sense that you're balancing good strategy with giving those who need it first. We don't have as many vaccines as we would like to have in Nigeria yet. We have just a few vaccines. So we're doing it in phases. And while this first phase is ongoing, we are preparing for other phases. Giving health workers, Lagos State is for the phase one. They're giving health workers, and they're also going to give strategic leaders. When in a community, people see that the Bale or the chairman of the local government has taken their vaccine, they are more invested in taking it. But when they don't see their own traditional heads or leaders taking the vaccine, they're going to feel there's something about it and they're going to shy away from it. So it's a very strategic decision to protect the health workers who are in contact with people, with patients with COVID-19, to conserve the workforce and protect them, which makes a lot of sense. And also to give the leaders in the forefront. So you give the opinion leaders, you give the gatekeepers, you give those in the limelight. And everybody, and when people see that indeed they took the vaccine openly and there were no side effects and life continued, they would be inspired and definitely want to take the next phases of vaccines as they come into the community. So it's a good strategy, and it's going to work for a country like ours, where we look at our leaders most of us look at our leaders before we act.
But Dr. Adewale, what do you say to some health workers who are not necessarily convinced and taking the Oxford-AstraZeneca vaccine? They're still hoping to receive some of the other vaccines.
What I would say is that taking the vaccine at this point is not a compulsory event. Although it is necessary and should be welcomed with open arms, nobody's going to force or shove the vaccine down anybody's throats. But as healthcare workers, even if you are not in the emergency rooms, we know that we are on the forefront. We are all frontline workers. You have people that are coming to the clinic to have a regular family planning procedure. Then they are symptomatic carriers of COVID-19. So we are doing this for our good. I'd like to encourage them. And while there's so much debate about the different types of vaccines, I would say that the AstraZeneca vaccine is very potent. I mean, it has a high level of efficacy. Apart from the fact that it's, according to research and what was done on it, it protects against mortality 100% from COVID-19. So that is to say, if you develop COVID-19 and you're taking the vaccine, you're likely not going to die from the vaccine. Before this vaccine was shipped, a lot of research has been done concerning it. And so I would just encourage them and say, look at the facts again, look at public health data. Many people are looking up to you. And apart from that, what's more important is your own health and your own life. I've personally lost a lot of colleagues to COVID-19. And if I, as a public health physician, I have done my due diligence and I see AstraZeneca is a good vaccine with good efficacy, with minimal side effects, 100% protection from mortality. That is, you may, by one stroke of chance or the other, still get COVID-19 after the vaccine, but you are likely not going to die from the virus after being vaccinated. So I'd encourage our health workers to look to science and take the right decisions for their health, for their families, and for the populace looking at them.
We appreciate your time on the program, Dr. Ajoke Adewale. Thank you for joining us on the program.
It's my pleasure.